ahead.
Hi, we are Illuminate-EMF. I'm Kate, this is Joanna, we're sisters, we're best friends, and working on this together. Switch there. Oh, there we go, okay. So we partner with individuals and businesses and schools to reduce their exposure to electrosmog. What is electrosmog? It is the electricity that comes out of the wires, out of our technology, that comes out into the air, that isn't supposed to come out into the air, and it's everywhere. So, and you can reach us on Instagram or Facebook, you can see us on our website, and obviously email us as well. And things that we like to do in a home, we like to start with a sleep sanctuary, because that is where your body heals and regenerates, and we all know that getting a good, solid night's sleep, a healthy night's sleep, is the most important thing. So we do sleep sanctuaries and home surveys. We remediate, and we'll test your personal devices and help you figure out how to turn off your antenna and make it work for you. And so this is just a little video to show you throughout the years how it's been building. In the 2000s, we finally have Bluetooth, and then we have the Alexa, 2014, and then wearables, 2016, more wearables. And now in 2023, we are fully supersized, because we don't even have to do anything. We can just tap our fingers together, and that's going to take the photo, answer the email, answer a text. So this is, now it's directly in through our bodies, not just in our ears with Bluetooth. It's going through your body tissue. That's really not what we like. That's not the best plan. So as I mentioned before, electrosmog is pollution. And everyone is very concerned about all the pollution, all the CO2 from airplanes. In fact, the telecommunications system, global system, has a higher CO2 output than the airline industry. So you compare the two industries, and telecommunications is outputting higher CO2. So if we can lower that, it's not only better for our bodies, it's better for the planet. Okay. So back in 2011, the WHO has classified radio frequencies from a cell phone, from cell towers, as possibly carcinogenic. Carcinogenic. There we go. It is in, I know, right? It's in the same category as lead and gasoline. So if you want to do comparisons, when lead was a big thing, when everyone's saying, oh my gosh, lead is so terrible for you, suddenly there was no lead in anything. No lead paint, no, if you found lead in something, you needed special remediation teams to come in and take care of that, because it is so dangerous for you. Radio frequency radiation from cell phones, from Wi-Fi, from Bluetooth is in that same category. So where we got rid of lead, we're not getting rid of that, which doesn't make any sense to me. So it is a very dangerous thing in our world. And right here, what we want to learn today is how to manage our own personal devices in our homes, because we can't control the whole world. We can't, the world is not ready to stop smoking with their cell phones. They're just not ready. So you need to have a smoke-free home. It's much like how that industry made changes is how we're going to have to do here. Lowering your cell phone radiation in your home gives you less risk to anxiety and depression. It increases the quantity and the quality of your sleep, which is really important. And and it improves neural development. And what we have right here is where it peaks for children at the ages, so we can see that like sensory pathways and language development, that this is really important to focus on to have a very healthy environment in these ages, all the way up to, they're estimating this is about 8 years old at cognitive. So that's what that, any questions so far? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah? Okay. Okay, so a Yale professor, Laurie Santos, says, want to raise happy and successful kids? Wait as long as possible to give them a phone. And she's talking about many things in this article. She's talking about their mental health, their social development, and their intellectual development. And schools across the U.S. are now joining a growing movement for no phones to boost mental health in the classroom at all. So these countries, I'm very excited about this, because the United States does not do this. But there are countries around the world that have banned, entirely banned, Wi-Fi and cell towers and cell phones near and in daycare, schools, and hospitals, in areas that they call sensitive areas, right? So sensitive areas include any place that takes care of children or the elderly or the sick. So France and Cyprus. Cyprus is on board and the United States is not. Israel, Greece, Bangladesh is there and the United States is not. The one place in the United States that we do have like a really great law is in Berkeley, California. They have a law that when you sell a cell phone to someone, that you have to give them, you know, like a written warning, like they do with tobacco, it's addicting, like that kind of thing. But your cell phone, you will be exposed to extreme radiation, like above the FDA level, if you hold it in your bra or in your pocket. So they're in your pocket, yes. Do not hold your phone in your pocket. So in Berkeley, California, yes?
Some of those phones have cases, leather, or does that?
That does not protect you, no. There are little bags that you can get called Faraday bags.
What are they called?
It's called a Faraday bag. Right, it's a Faraday bag, and that's that might be a brand, Faraday, but I think it's actually, it's a type of bag, okay. So it's a Faraday bag, and there are many brands. You have to be careful with these bags, because if you have your antenna on, like if you have Wi-Fi and cellular data and Bluetooth, all those antennas turned on your phone and you put it in the bag and the phone itself are going to overheat because it's constantly trying to connect. That's the thing about the antenna. They always want to be connected.
And the energy just builds.
And the energy builds, and the bag itself will get hot. It'll get hot in your pocket. It'll get hot in your pocketbook. So, I don't know. I'm not a big fan of the Faraday bag because, one, it could break your phone eventually because your phone's just going to overheat and fry. And two, I mean, it's going to get too hot next to your skin. It just doesn't seem to do what you want it to do, which is protect you from the radiation. In effect, really, just turn off your antenna.
Which will teach you.
Right, yes, which is what we're getting to, which is managing our personal devices. So
we must put our cell phone in the bag, not in
correct.
the
In the bag, not in the pocket. Yes. And never in the pocket. You take it out of your pocket. Good job. Thank you. This is more news around the world. So, and this is where it says about Berkeley, California, exposure higher than legal limits could occur when the phone is in the pocket or in the bra. So I just wanted to give a global look at this, that people around the world are really focusing on this, And the United States really isn't. And I think because we live here, we should start focusing on this. It's important for our children. One suggestion is to connect differently. I know it's sad to go back to the 1980s, but we can wire up. Or we can actually talk to people. That's a good plan too. Just talk face to face. Choose when to connect throughout your day. Make real choices. Don't stay connected all day long. Don't keep your antenna on all day long. There's really no need for that. And to limit immersive experiences. This is for everyone. This is not just for children, especially for children. Well, definitely for children. There are no Bluetooth headphones for children. That's right out. So this poor child with the full immersive experience, he gets, well, in my world he would get 0 of that. But I understand that people are going to do what they do. I would say not more than what? 10 minutes? You get 10 minutes out of, there you go. That would be the tops, and then it's got to be all the antennas off and put it away because all that radiation is going in his eyes. Right in his eyes, and it's all in his head. Is not a healthy environment. So a good way to manage this for you and your family is to create a plan, to create phone-free spaces and to talk about it, sit down and talk about, okay, well, I gotta get my homework done, I gotta this or that, I'm waiting for a phone call for a business, whatever. Okay, so those phone calls and that homework and whatever is all gonna happen in these hours, and in these hours, we're gonna have everything turned off because we're home here. Maybe we're having dinner together. Maybe it's game night. Maybe it's quiet reading time. Maybe it's, I don't know, a time for togetherness. So how exactly does wireless radiation affect our children's health? So I've talked a lot about how bad it is. These are some startling images. Without a cell phone turned on around you for 4 hours, your blood is healthy and happy. After only 45 minutes of carrying your phone, you're not even using your phone. You're not even holding it in your hand. This is like in your pocket.
In your backpack as well.
In your backpack even. Because there it is, right there. Right? This is what happens to your blood. So you can see how it's all cupped together. No oxygen, no nutrients is getting out of these inside. And those blood cells on the inside aren't able to breathe freely either, like those. So not only are your tissues, your brain, your bones, your nerves getting the oxygen, getting the nutrients they need to thrive, your blood cells themselves are not getting what they need. So blood cells are in fact not thriving. So this is terrifying to me. And that's what it does. So these are just some different scientific studies that we put together for you to see that, all the different studies, that there are chemical effects, and it stimulates neural cell death, and prevents transformation of stem cells into neurons. This is a big one. That's prenatal, right? So this is for the pregnant moms. Keep it away because it is causing a ruckus with the baby actually growing healthfully and easily, it shouldn't have to be struggling at that time. And also in our brain, we have over 100 billion EMF receivers in our brain. And that's just our natural, because we are electromagnetic beings. We have magnetism working within our bodies, and we have electrics working within our bodies and our nerves. And we have a certain level that's very healthy for us, which is not what's coming at us all day. And there are over 1 billion receivers in our brains that are getting messed with. Quite honestly. And these are a couple more studies that we saw that gaming or talking on a cell phone is associated with increased ADHD symptoms in a risk in a dose response manner, which means the more you're talking on a phone, the more you will have ADHD behavior. And again, it's the same with autism, that what happens to your blood in your body chemically is that you have an increase in positive calcium ions and nitric acid, which causes reactive stress syndrome, which is like an oxidative stress syndrome in your body, in your blood. And this chemical environment in your body is almost parallel to the chemical environment in a child that has autism. So the more a child who is autistic is in a high EMF, high RF environment, the more symptoms they're going to, the more extreme their symptoms are going to be. And quite possibly, yes, that's basically what I wanted to say. And here is just, this is just to show you that the prevalence of autism sort of follows the same trajectory as cell phone connection growth. So way back in 1970, autism was 1 in 10,000 children were diagnosed with autism. So 1980 comes around, and that's the very beginning of cell phones. By 1995, it's 1 in 1,000. By 2000, just 5 years later, it's 1 in 150. By 2016, it's 1 in 54. And what we don't have on this chart is today, it is 1 in 44 children is diagnosed with autism. And I just think that's a really interesting relationship.
Correlation.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. So I think it's really important, especially for young children. Let's give you some solutions, right? Step 1, keep your distance. Don't put it in your pocket. Put it in your purse and leave your purse over there, right?
6 to 8 feet at least is what's preferred.
Yeah. Power it down. Text instead of call. So texting is much quicker. It's not next to your head, right? And obviously you want to stay informed. In the news recently, France has banned the sale of the iPhone 12 because just by being the iPhone 12, its radiation is beyond the levels. And they finally, but now they're onto the iPhone 15. So you can see the lag in information to us, right? Because all of this is so new. Everything's happening so fast and we're upgrading so quickly.
It's very difficult for the regulations
to keep up with the technology, right? So I don't know what they're going to do with the subsequent iPhones, but they have since banned the iPhone 12. So in simple changes, turn things off. Limit streaming, download instead of streaming, right? And definitely avoid using devices on your lap. That's a big deal.
On your lap?
Yes, like don't pull your laptop onto your lap when you're like in bed or whatever, watching a little movie.
or a Nook
Or a Nook, yeah.
iPad. You know, like people have reading devices, like
Yeah.
little
Is that the same
Tablets.
as a tablet?
Tablets,
Tablets.
right.
Yeah, same as a tablet.
Same as a
Like when you're
tablet.
lying down in bed and you want to read your tablet at night, download whatever it is you want to read. Don't stream what you're reading,
And
you
turn
know?
off your
And you can download movies too. Download the movie you want to watch. Don't stream the movie the whole time right
You can
at your body.
They do have some sleeves that you can get that you could put on your body, and you know, for a temporary time that would be good. But we would really just recommend turning your antenna off when it's so close to you, because you're still going to get it in front of you. You know, it's all around the device. It isn't just
Yeah,
in the back of the device.
right. Okay, so there are a ton of antennas in your phone. We think there's just one. There's not. There's one for different frequencies, the 5G, for your Wi-Fi, for your Bluetooth, for your data. They're all different antenna. So we want to learn how to do that so that we actually turn them off. This is a video of an iPad. What, yeah. Wait a minute. Where is the button for that?
I didn't know you had a video.
Oh, I'm
It's not
sorry.
gonna do a volume.
Oh, okay.
Oh, it won't do a volume.
No.
Okay, well, we can see.
See the red light.
Right. We can see how it's high here and extreme. I have to put my glasses on to read what's going on.
Do we want
And
to
we're turning the Bluetooth off. So the Bluetooth is off. There we go.
It become green when
When we're
Turn
up
we
at,
turn off the Wi-Fi or
mm-hmm,
Bluetooth.
yes, yes.
And airplane mode.
And you have to also have airplane mode on.
So with Apple, when you turn on airplane mode, you can still have Wi-Fi and Bluetooth active.
Mhm.
So you want to turn all three of them off to eliminate the wireless radiation.
Because it's still on.
And Androids are a bit different. So
Yeah.
right now it's in airplane mode, and you can see it's in slight. As soon as we take it
Mhm.
off, you see it goes to extreme.
Extreme immediately.
Immediately. And it stays there. Now this machine is called a Safe and Sound Pro 2, so it's a radio frequency meter. And it only goes to 3,180,000. So the radiation is actually much, much higher than that, but the devices that can measure
But
what
it's
it
maxed out.
actually is are very, very
So you
expensive.
prefer to put it in the airplane mode all the time?
All the time. So that goes back to choose when to connect, right? So you're in control. Take back your control a little bit. Everybody wants to be 24/7 connected. I don't use cellular data anymore at all. Personally, I don't need it. I have a hard wire that I connect at home. And I really just treat it like long ago. I never got a phone call when I was younger unless I was in a building and they knew my number. So, you know, it's a going, you know, it's a different philosophy. So yes, my recommendation is just always have all your antennas off. Choose when you want to be connected, then turn them on. Certainly when you're driving, turn them off, you know?
Yeah. But between Wi-Fi and data, it's better to just be on Wi-Fi. The data is much stronger. You get much stronger radiation from the data coming in because they're larger packets, or I'm not really
Well,
even, you know, the
Yes, it has to do with how the wireless technologies actually work, and that's probably a whole different presentation.
It is,
But the
it is.
strength of these pulses, you know, is basically energy and power. So to get it to an antenna, cell phone antenna, it has to go maybe 25 miles. So that's a much larger burst. To get to a Wi-Fi, it's typically a very, you know, a near antenna.
Yeah, close
so there's
range.
less.
Right, so it's not as powerful. And Bluetooth, I would always just keep off. Unless you're currently connecting to something Bluetooth, but that's something that you have to on purpose turn off. Even if you turn off the Bluetooth device, your phone is still searching.
Yes.
So
for the
not
Bluetooth.
connected is not off, let's just say off.
Yes, right.
And this was a video of actually Bluetooth headphones. They're actually mine,
Yeah.
that I used to love before we learned all about
Oh, I'm trying to,
this.
there.
So as soon as you open this, you'll notice that it goes immediately to extreme, and it stays there
It just stays there.
until that goes back in, and there's about a 30-second lag.
Yeah. Yeah, so it's really, they're serious. Okay. Oh, we didn't mention on that last slide that there are air tubes that you can use that keep the radiation away from you. So there are earphones that are air tubes that plug in, that are not Bluetooth. So again, like we mentioned before, download. You can download movies, you can download apps, you can download almost everything now. So that's the best suggestion there. And power down. This is a video showing the television is on and we can see that it's extreme. Now it's off and it's still extreme because the antenna, again, the antenna doesn't turn off.
Does not.
It keeps searching, keeps searching. So you have to unplug it to get it to go quiet. So it's not a whole lot of fun to unplug things all the time, to bend down and do that. So something that we like is an outlet switch, and this outlet switch has a remote. So instead of turning the TV off directly, you're actually turning the switch off. And that turns
Right.
that turns the electricity off at the outlet from there. So that's even better for you, that you don't have any electricity coming through it all, through the wires or anything. So that's a really good EMF remediation tool. Hardwiring is the most secure and the safest for our bodies, is to hardwire. And there are different tools that you can use to hardwire as well. If you don't have, like very long cables to get all the way upstairs, or your bedroom's 3 floors up from the router, they have power, they have Ethernet over power. So it's about this big and it plugs into the outlet next to the router, and you connect it with an Ethernet to the plug, right? So now the Ethernet is coming from your router into the router plug, and now it uses your wires in your home to go up to the 3rd floor, wherever you plug in the other one. They come in pairs, So then you can plug it in and pull an Ethernet cord out and hardwire anywhere in your home that way, which is really nice.
Without calling an electrician.
Without calling an electrician, right?
Much
Without
less
rewiring.
expensive, right?
Yes, absolutely, absolutely. Turning off your antennas helps you sleep better.
This is, I think, very important.
Yes, this is like the total truth. As we mentioned before, about how you saw the photos about how your blood changes. Now, we don't have the technology to really show what's happening to the nerves, but we do have EEG machines that, show the activity that's happening in your brain. So, I saw 2 different experiments that they did over and over again, different people, of someone driving a car, and they had, sensors, the EEG sensors all around their head, and as they're driving the car, their Bluetooth is on, and they have their phone on, and they get a text message. And when the text message gets to the car, they see it fire in his brain. They see, it go, so it's sort of color-coded, so it'll go red in that area. And as he's driving all around the head, and this happened with older men, older women, younger women, all ages, that all around was getting redder and redder in the EEG picture. And it was directly related to the Bluetooth and the Wi-Fi. He got a phone call and it flared up like crazy. It was just like,
And the
you
red
could
was
clearly see.
the same response as anger and
Yes.
stress, so.
Yes, it's the same as anger and stress. So turning these things off when you go to sleep is like stopping that person from poking you. It's like, it's poking you all night long, and your nerves feel it, and your blood feels it, but we don't notice it, you know? So you can
We
program your
notice
router.
it because we say we're tired, we didn't sleep well, and we always blame it on something else.
Right, yes.
Try this, try having a healthier sleep environment.
Right,
and,
Yes.
You might feel better.
So you suggest that we turn off the Wi-Fi? We can keep the cell phone but turn off the Wi-Fi while
Well-
sleeping or what?
well,
Best,
yes. So for turning off the Wi-Fi and keeping your cell phone, that's an excellent question. If you have to stay connected overnight while you're sleeping, you don't want to keep the antennas on your cell phone. And you
Yes.
certainly don't want a live cell phone right on the bedside table next to your head while
Yes.
you're sleeping.
Yes.
That's not a healthy plan either.
Okay.
So what we recommend is a product called the Magic Jack that is very inexpensive, that the plan is $50 for the whole year, and it's a jack that you plug into your router that you can forward your phone calls to. So then you can get your phone calls, you can be hardwired in that way, and it's a little bit more complicated than that, but you can contact us later if you want us to help you with that. But
Yeah, but I think the big recommendation is to, call your internet service provider, have them help you turn off your Wi-Fi at night. You could schedule it to go on and off.
Uh-huh.
And the answer would be no, don't have your cell data on.
Oh, yeah, no
If
antennas
you,
on.
because I know that people like to and need to be connected, keep it in your closet if you really feel necessary, but you want that at least 8 feet away from you, so you don't have the near field
Yeah.
emissions at your head while you sleep.
yeah.
Because unfortunately, most of the time, we just decide.
Right on the
Yes.
bed, yes, exactly,
Yes.
right where mine was.
Yes.
What was the question?
It was, what are we supposed to do with our phones when we're sleeping if we turn the router off? And the truth is, you're not turning the whole router off. You want to program your router to turn the Wi-Fi off at night. So I know Verizon has an app that you can just turn the Wi-Fi off on command, or you can program it so you don't have to think about it at all. If you go to bed at 9 p.m., you have it turn off at 9 p.m., you wake up at 5 a.m., you have it turn on at 5 a.m. so that when you're sleeping, you're just not disturbed by the Wi-Fi.
Right, and the combination of that and the Magic Jack keeps you connected to your family without
Yes.
the wireless radiation.
Wireless.
And it's so inexpensive that
Yeah.
it just, it makes sense. It's kind of like having a landline, but you don't have to pay for it every single month. You just pay for it once a year.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, so in the nursery, there are a number of things that have very high EMF RF radiation that it would really be wonderful if we could eliminate those things, because as we showed earlier, children, infants, and pregnant women are at the most risk because they're growing the fastest, so their bodies are changing the fastest. So this is what's in the child's room, and it's at extreme the whole time. The whole time. And for the mom, oh, we didn't get to the,
Well, it went. but
it
then
went and
turned
then we
off.
lost it and
Yeah.
then it turned off.
Wait.
Sorry, I was a little slow on that. Yeah, so for the mom as well, you can't really see the number because of the reflection, but you can see it's just like, it's going crazy. And this is right next to the mom, right? Right next to the mom, right next to the baby. It's not good. Other things that aren't great, There's smart lighting and Alexa, Alexa, dim the lights. Not in the baby's room. No, Alexa's not gonna do anything in the baby's room. Electronic mobiles, right above the bed is just an electric field right over the child.
I didn't know there was such a thing as an electronic mobile.
There are. And it gets worse because there are smart wearables. Smart wearables,
Oh, yeah.
a smart wearable are like, Bluetooth headphones, right? Bluetooth earbuds. But they have binkies. So they're putting RF radiation in their mouth. They have Bluetooth diaper babies
Yes.
for babies. Well, the thinking is, and it's, wow, it's actually really comforting for mom that they can just check online and make sure from the binky, temp is perfect,
Breathing's good.
breathing's good,
Pulse is good.
Right.
The whole 9 yards, but
But it's not a healthy way. It would be like being in an x-ray all night long to make sure that your bones haven't broken. It's overkill, and it's dangerous overkill,
dangerous.
and it's hurting the children. They have Bluetooth diapers that, when the diaper gets dirty, it lets you know,
Is it
healthy?
Is the yeah,
Excuse
it's
me.
gone way over.
It's overboard.
Yes.
I understand, I'm a mother of 5, so I went in, I said, are you still breathing? You stand and you watch, and you get the mirror sometimes to see that they're breathing. I understand the worry, but
That's not the healthy way to do it.
But this is not the healthy way to deal with it.
Another important thing is to know that all of these things also stay on just like the television. So,
It never turns off. Even if you decide to take it out and put it on the bedside table,
it's still
it's still emitting. It's still
Or
emitting.
if you're, in this case, in the video's case, if you're charging the parent unit and the parent unit is off, it's still emitting at an extreme level, just like your television. Well, actually, way worse.
Way
than your
worse.
television.
The
The
way
levels
worse
of
than a
these
cell
two are
phone.
Just horrible.
Yeah,
Yeah, so we definitely don't recommend that.
yeah.
I think we have another slide with that.
Excuse me.
Oh, this is.
Oh, this is
Another
it.
video.
Very cute.
You can watch that another time.
Okay.
We have to 2 instead of, it's the
Okay.
next slide.
All right. Okay, so instead of the Bluetooth speaker and monitor and the Bluetooth or Wi-Fi receiver, you can hardwire with simple things that you already have with your tablet and your phone, or an extra computer. I mean, most people have a tablet and a phone at their disposal in their homes, and you can hardwire it, and with the simple app, you have it. So yes, hardwiring it is a wonderful way to do it, but I mean, you could, I guess they do Wi-Fi too.
You can also do Wi-Fi, and I think the assertion is that don't add more products. So, for example, people that we've met, they're resistant to turning off their Wi-Fi, for example, or they never want to get disconnected. Well, if you can just eliminate some of the sources, you still have a healthier environment. So this app allows you to either hardwire or go wireless. Many of the other apps do not. So this is
The Beano, right.
So anyway.
So this is great. Creating a family plan helps everyone to feel in control of what's going on. So if you have any children between the ages of 6 on up, they're gonna have a say. They're gonna have an opinion, and you want them to share that opinion. You wanna talk about it and come to an agreement and guide them, to, we're gonna make a streaming limit. My girls who are in college now and are, what are they, 18 and almost 21. Woo, they're my youngest. They have a timer on their Instagram accounts then Instagram will shut off if they reach that timer limit. Because they know. And they did this, I didn't have to even tell them to do it, they just did this. So I think their friends do it too. It's engrossing, and they stay on for so long. Now, they're not very young children, they didn't have phones when they were young. But this is the type of thing that you want to introduce to your younger children. Like, you don't get to do Instagram for 5 hours a day. You get to do Instagram for 30 minutes a day. That's it. That's what you get. So, when are phones turned off? How can we hardwire devices so that homework can get done? You know, we can do the Ethernet over power, and you can do your homework in your bedroom, where you want to do it, at your desk, but you're hardwired, which is much safer for them and healthier for them. And to set a phone-free space, that's really important, just so that when you go into the living room, you know you're not going to run into a bunch of people doing this and feeling like, hello, hi, I'm here, right? It's just a phone-free space. You could be reading a book, you could be listening to music, doing your crafting, a puzzle, whatever. We can play games or bake, not in the living room, but well, I don't know, my house sometimes we can bake in the living room because we're crazy. And when you come in the house, maybe just turn off the antennas. You don't need them, you're in your house. You don't need them for any reason. So, and this is our second that we've done now here at the library. It's our second we've done at the library. And in the winter, we want to talk about chasing away the winter blues, because magnetic fields do increase anxiety and depression. So we're going to talk about how to manage all of your devices doing that. So please join us. And I think that is it. You can schedule a visit with us, and we can partner with you to help you in your home, to help you create a family plan, or help you rearrange your furniture so you're sitting away from all of this, so you can comfortably be 6 to 8 feet away from all the things that you need to be away from. And, whoops, I did the wrong thing there. There we go. And again, you can connect with us to do all of these things. There we go. Did you have any further questions?
Right now, for me, I think all my questions, I just ask.
You asked them?
No, I'm good, I don't have any of those devices.
Oh, you don't have any of those devices? No cell
Cell
phone?
phone.
Nothing?
Good.
That's,
I have a tablet.
you have a
I
tablet?
do have a tablet.
Mhm.
What
And
a
how-
good decision.
Well, yes.
What a big and good decision.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And you were asking about the tablet. Do you use that at night to read, or?
To look something up.
Mhm.
No, not to read. I read books.
Okay. Okay. Well, I would recommend to you not to charge the tablet in the bedroom or on the bedside table while you're sleeping.
I never
Charge the tablet.
in a different room.
Yeah, and just turn off the antennas when you're not using it. Turn the antennas on when you want to use it.
Where is the antenna on the tablet?
And some of them actually don't really have an easy way, so each one's
You
different.
have to go into settings for
Definitely
most.
settings. But
Yeah.
I think another important thing, since, well, I don't know how your telephone works. Do you have a landline?
I have a cordless.
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 So probably connected like to the wall, like a normal, yeah.
Mhm.
So, what I would recommend is that at night also, because if you have internet, that means that you have Wi-Fi in your house.
Yeah.
So probably turn that off at night, I would recommend.
Yeah.
One of those outlet switches is great for that. Turn it off and then you can turn it back on in the morning.
One of the outlets where the cordless phone is plugged in.
For your router, so if you have internet at your house,
There is internet in the building.
oh, okay, but not at your house, not
Yeah,
in your.
It is in my house, but not in my living space.
Okay, okay. So that's good.
Yeah.
Sounds
that's-
like it's good
Oh, I
that
don't
you.
know what a router is.
So you,
Your router is from Verizon or Xfinity or Comcast, you know? And usually it's like a cylinder like this. Sometimes they're
In your
square,
basement.
rectangular. And they come in and they install it, and it's connected to the Ethernet, right? So it's hardwired to the internet at large. So it's bringing the internet into your home. It usually has an antenna on it, and that's where you would get your Wi-Fi. So on your tablet, if you have Wi-Fi enabled at all, you're probably connecting to your personal router
Okay.
that's in
There
there.
is something in the basement.
that's probably it.
That is probably it, yes.
And it would have an, plug into an outlet for power.
Okay.
So we showed on one of the screens, the remote power for the television. Remember the television screen where we had the remote that would turn off the power of
Oh,
the
yeah.
television?
Right.
So you could also use that to turn off your router at night.
I don't have a television.
No, but you could use it to turn off your router, because your router
You're
is,
saying I would use the control.
right.
What would
Yeah,
I-
it's
Maybe
not-
go back to that slide.
Yeah, can we go back to that
I
slide?
don't
Where
wanna,
are we?
I don't wanna.
Oh, that's okay. We still have 10 minutes.
Yeah, so what it is it's an outlet switch. So it doesn't matter what you plug it into. You know how when you have a 3-prong
Yes.
thing and you only have a 2-prong
Mhm.
outlet, you get a little thing so the 3-prong goes in and you can do that.
Yeah.
It's like a little attachment. That's kind of what this is like. It's an attachment that you put into the outlet. So now you can turn the power on right at the wall with it comes with a remote, with a small remote. So anything you plug into that, once it's on, you can turn it off by turning the power off at the outlet on that switch,
Okay,
right? So it's like an attachment like that.
thank you.
Yeah, I know, it's sort of hard to envision, I was trying to recall things. Yeah.
I have a question.
Oh, okay,
I have a life alert sort of a piece of equipment,
mhm.
and I recharge it every night, and it's very close to where I'm sleeping. Is that emitting something?
Well, I don't know what the life equipment is. Is there any way that you can charge it during the day?
No, it's supposed to be on me.
Oh, I see, it needs to be charging while it's on you.
No. It needs to charge at night, so it works during the day. So
Gotcha.
she charges it at night.
Oh,
so she can wear
I
it.
see.
It's
So-
probably like a
oh,
necklace, I'm guessing.
I
or
understand.
something like that.
Is there a way that you can charge it in a different room?
Well, it certainly wouldn't be close if I had an emergency.
Right.
That's a good point.
I don't know, I guess it's getting fed by something in the air.
My guess is that when you push it, it would emit something. We haven't ever measured one of those. If you wanted to email us, we could arrange a quick visit that we could, well, I guess it depends on where you are in the world, but if you aren't too far away, we could come and take a quick look to see if it always emits. That would be an interesting
Oh,
thing
I
for
I
us
see
to
what
know.
you're saying, that when I would activate it,
Yeah,
then it might.
I think I think that's possible, but, I mean, that would make sense to me logically, but I don't know. If you wanted to send us
So-
an email, we could take a look into it and just
Yeah.
ask what it was.
One example too that I'm thinking of is, my youngest is very, very academic and did her homework, practically fell asleep on her computer. She worked all the time and had to plug in her computer and charge it overnight and okay. So instead of using the outlet that was right next to her bed, we used an outlet all the way across the room, and that kept the charging activity, the EMF emissions far enough away from her, but her computer could still be, when she was finished, she could put the computer down on the floor and she was still far enough away from that. So I think I can't answer your question with any certainty because I don't know, one, where it's being plugged in relation to you, and I don't know,
You say
two.
where it's being plugged, it's plugged into the outlet at the other side of the bed.
Okay, so if the outlet is
Next to the bed.
next to the bed,
She's in the
in
room.
general, that's not what we like to see because that does bring more electromagnetic fields into the bed, magnetic fields especially into the bed. So that wouldn't be something I recommend. But again, I don't have a visual, I'm not there, so I can't speak to any certainty. In general, you want to plug things in the outlet across the room from your bed, nowhere near your bed, at least 6 feet away from the bed
Okay.
while
Thank
you're
you.
sleeping.
If that's possible.
If that's possible. I know you still need to keep the device near to you.
Then you have to watch for tripping, so it'd be hard to
Yeah.
really answer that.
Yeah, so I don't, not being able to see the environment, so if you can send us some emails, then yeah, I'd be really interested in helping you with this situation. Yeah, thank you for your question.
It's the Live Lake device.
Okay,
That's a company, if you could maybe look
Okay,
that up and,
We'll look that up. Thank you. Was that Ethel?
okay. Yes,
All right, thanks, Ethel.
thank you.
you're
Ethel,
welcome.
I will ask you one last time to please send us an email because we do not have your contact information. So if we do find out any information, we won't be able to get it to you. So if you could just quick send us an email, that would be great.
And where's your address?
Oh, it just clicked off.
Oh, it just clicked off actually.
Can we click back?
Yeah,
I
hold
think
on.
if you
Is
hit the
this-
restart button, it's on.
Yeah, we're gonna
the
hit the restart
first-
and
then
get
go
to
on
that.
the next page.
Do you
There we
see, can you see that? We're Illuminate.EMF at gmail.com.
Okay.
Right here.
EMF.
Yeah, this is the email.
EMF.
Any further questions? Anyone in the room or anybody else on Zoom? All right.
No? Awesome. Thank you so much.
Thank you so
so
much for the
for joining us.
presentation. Yeah.
Thank you so